We're down to the final 14 riders of the 1970s, the best riders. We start off with 75 and we're down to 14. Coming in at number 14 was the hard-charging number 34, Scott Sivage. Scott was a hard charger. He was a good rider. Although he never won a United States Speedway National Championship, Scott was just a really good rider. Scott was a popular rider in the 70s. He was in contention and won many main events. He was a hard slider, a hard charger, and Scott Sivage was always giving it 100%. He was riding all the tracks. Coming in at number 13 was perhaps the tallest rider of his era. He was tall and he was really fast. He was super fast for being so tall. And who was he? He was the big man, Big Mike Conley. At just age 16, Mike won this big enduro race. All these grown-up professional riders were riding. He was this young 16-year-old rider. And who was the winner? Well, forget his number. It was Mike Conley. 1972 was perhaps Mike's biggest year. He was runner-up with Mike Bass. It was Mike versus Mike for the United States Speedway Championship in 72. They had a runoff. And guess what? Mike Bass won his first United States Speedway Championship of 7 in the 70s, which he dominated. However, Mike Conley had his best outing. He tied for the national championship and lost, sadly, in the runoff. Number 12 was a super talented Speedway rider. He was just a gifted rider. This guy was a hard charger. And he was number 14. And who was he? He was sexy Jeff Sexton. Jeff was a captain. He was a leader, a high point man of the 1976 Bakersfield Bandits. They won the National Speedway League that year. And Jeff Sexton was just an incredibly smooth, incredible rider. Jeff had a brother named Rod Sexton. Rod was a good young Division I rider. And Jeff grew up in a motorcycle shop in Montclair, California. His papa, they ran a motorcycle shop. And Jeff Sexton, he was around motorcycles most all of his life. Jeff almost became national champion. He missed it by that much. He was second place. He was runner-up in a national championship. And he was just a really hard charger. You know, Jeff had that spirit of like aggressiveness, you know, like when he was on that bike, he was like, I'm gonna get this guy. He was a good rider. He was sponsored by Select Vans and Torco oil. That's why he went so fast. Torco's a good oil. And Jeff Sexton was just considered one of the very top riders of his era. Sad to say, Jeff is no longer with us. Rest in peace, number 14, sexy Jeff Sexton. Coming in at number 11. Coming in at 11 was the rider with no nickname. He didn't need a nickname. Why? He was just talented. This guy was fierce. When he got on the racetrack, everyone knew this guy could win, and he often did. And who was that? It was number 54, Mike Curoso. Mike was considered one of the smoothest and one of the fastest riders of his era. Anytime Mike got on that racetrack, you knew that he could win that race. He was just a really good rider. He was smooth as glass. Besides being an amazing Speedway rider, Mike was just a super nice guy. He was friendly. Mike Curoso was friendly to everyone, and everyone liked Mike Curoso. He just had this calm, really good manner. However, we lost Mike, and we're so sad to say this, and rest in peace, Mike Curoso. Coming in at number 10 was a really wild rider. He was considered the wild man. He was wild. and his nickname was a part of that too. He was a good rider. This guy could ride a speedway bike. He could turn that throttle on, especially in the early 70s. Who was he? He was number 41. That was Wild Bill Cody. Even though Bill Cody had the nickname Wild Bill, he was calm dude. He was conservative. Bill Cody's a nice guy, and it's funny you say the wild man, but Bill Cody's just a very nice guy. Bill wanted to be a school teacher. He enrolled in Orange Coast College, Costa Mesa, California, and he just was riding speedway for fun. He was riding flat track TT, the Sacramento Mile. He was a gifted TT rider. And then he was gonna go to college because he thought motorcycle riding, there's really no future, no money in it. However, he was wrong. He started cleaning bank at Costa Mesa Speedway across the street from OCC. And he just decided he would just quit that school and he would race speedway full time, and he made a lot of money. Another thing that I remember about Wild Bill Cody was he raced in Australia and Europe a little bit. And when he raced in Australia, he was in a movie. I was in this movie theater when I was just a little kid, and Bill Cody was beating up on those world champions. He was winning the long tracks. Wild Bill Cody was just a sensational rider. Also, the promoters, they wanted him to race in Australia and Europe, and Bill Cody said, no, 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 no. I make more money racing at Costa Mesa, and I could be home with my wife and family. Wild Bill is a smart man. He's a businessman. He has a good mind. He saved his money. A lot of the riders were squandering it on different things that were not good for you, right? And Wild Bill Cody was saving his money for a business, and he became the distributor for Jawa Speedway bikes in North America. And Wild Bill still has that distributor to this day. Go buy your next Speedway bike. Coming in at number 9 was the first glamour boy of Speedway. He was a good rider, and he was a California state champion, the first state champion. He was a gifted rider. He was a glamour boy. He was the first one. The girls really fell in love with who? Number 19, that is sliding Sonny Nutter. Sonny was one of the first riders to ride a speedway bike in the mid-60s. Butch Fairchild, the son of Jerry Fairchild, rest in peace, both those guys. And Butch gave the speedway bike to Sonny at El Toro Raceway, and for the first time in the modern era, a guy rode the speedway bike, and that was sliding Sonny Nutter. Along with his good looks, Sonny was just a nice guy. He would stay in the pits after the races and sign autographs for the kids. And of course, all the girls liked him. But Sonny Nutter was an ambassador for the sport of Speedway. And also, he was a team captain for the USA team that toured all around Australia. One of Sonny's sponsors was KEZY Radio in Anaheim, California. And Sonny was just a popular rider. I mean, he was the first. There was like Danny Becker that followed and Bruce Panaha, but Sonny Nutter is definitely considered the first glamour boy of Speedway. Sonny did have an unfair advantage though, because he was riding at the Whiteman Stadium. He was a star rider there. And then when Costa Mesa opened in 1969, Sonny Nutter was a star rider. He was a marquee, and he was on the cover of programs. Sliding Sonny Nutter was definitely a star. Number 8 was number 5, and he was just an amazing rider. He was fast, he was smooth, and he was fast as lightning. And who was that? It was number 5, Lightning, Larry Shaw. Larry was sponsored by Collins Automotive in Orange, California, and he was runner-up for the United States Speedway champion a few times. Larry Shaw was just a gifted rider, and he was one of those smart riders. He used his head all the time, and he just knew when to turn it on and turn it off. And when the United States Nationals came, Larry Shaw, he turned it on. Larry Larry's just a nice guy. We chat on Facebook all the time. He's in Northern California. He's a good guy. And he sponsored number 6, Sean Mad Dog McConnell, when he was just a little tyke. And Sean has honored Lightning Larry by wearing those red uniform, the red leathers, the Lightning for many years. And Sean McConnell, he paid homage to Lightning Larry Shaw. Don't miss the next show as the countdown to number 1. It's complete. And we're counting down, and this is an exciting era. You know, these speedway riders of the 1970s, they were good. They were colorful. They were very exciting. And they were just amazing. And it was also the heyday of Speedway. So it was really kind of a special time in the modern day revival of Speedway era. We appreciate you. Please subscribe, like the show if you liked it. It was pretty cool. These writers make the show, not me, because they were just amazing. But thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we're gonna go see you next time. We're gonna count down to number 1. We're gonna have a good time.